Hello everyone, Warren here again with the Peach State Prime Transformers channel. It is Transformers Tuesday once again, and we have a new drop this week. Something I don't think any of us saw coming. And let's take a look at this together, shall we? And I'll give you kind of my thoughts on it. So, I saw this picture on Facebook earlier this morning, and I actually thought it was an AI generated Photoshop thing. I didn't think this was real until I got the Hasbro Pulse email from Hasbro, announcing it was available for pre-order. So this is being dubbed Transformers Icons Optimus Prime. As you can see from the pictures, if you haven't seen it already online, this is an Optimus Prime figure that transforms into the Autobot insignia. And I kind of have some mixed feelings here. First off, this is a Voyager-class offering, and it is being offered at the current, what I call the tariff price for Voyagers, which is $46.99. Which, again, as you recall, Voyagers have been hit the worst when it comes to the price increase between, your deluxe class, Voyager class, leader class, commander class, titan class. Voyager class went up the most percentage-wise. And it is really having people weigh in if a Voyager figure is worth it or not. So here's the thing. Part of me really likes this. I don't think the figure looks bad in robot mode. And you have a nice, clean, at least from the front, we haven't seen the back yet, Autobot logo. And it even comes with a stand for you to put it on a shelf. Okay, so I kind of like that aspect. I like the idea of having arguably one of the most iconic, if not the most iconic, Transformers character there is, turning into, or transforming or converting into one of the most iconic symbols of the brand. So it's kind of a nice way to celebrate Transformers. If this was it's an anniversary year of Transformers the movie, but this is almost something I would have reserved for an anniversary year of the entire franchise. Because it really, it invokes that kind of gravitas to it, that kind of status to it. So that's kind of what I like about it. What I don't like is that, as the box art, as the theme song always went, Transformers, robots in disguise. Unless Optimus is hanging out, outside of an Autobot stronghold, either on Cybertron or some sort of statue or monument, or again, fortress on Earth, is there a worse alt mode that you could give Optimus Prime? I mean, I could imagine the Decepticons flying through the skies and, saying, "Where's Optimus? He must be in disguise." Oh, there's a giant Autobot logo on the ground down there. That can't be Optimus, or that can't be the Autobots. So that's where I'm a little critical of this. The transformation looks simple and all that. I like simple transformations, so I'm not going to fault it for that. I don't believe this is part of the Age of the Prime, so it's Icons, it's its own deal. I will say, because the joke being made online this morning was, oh, Hasbro unveiled a new Prime for Age of the Primes, and it was this. The sad part is, I actually think I like it better than some of those other Prime designs, or Age of the Primes designs of the 13 Primes. Most notably, and I'm sorry, I know a lot of people love this figure. I cannot stand Amalgamus Prime, the design of that figure. Just not a Transformer design, in my opinion. But you're allowed to like it, more power to you. I like this better than Amalgamus Prime. And that was even, some of my comments I had as a result out there. The figure, let's talk colors here. You still have the classic, red and white, are usually on Optimus in some form, especially red. White sometimes is swapped out for gray or silver. This figure still gives you silver and white, or gray and white, whatever you want to call it. The white being more for the background, for the inner details of that Autobot insignia. And I really do like the fact they give you the stand here. This gives me a lot of Covenant of Primus vibes, which is not something I own. For those not familiar with it, it was a book that came out several years ago now, and I think it was the outer case, or it might have been the book itself, but it could actually transform into an Autobot insignia, and you could hang it on your wall. I personally don't own it, but this gives me very strong vibes there, which that actually brings up another question. They give you the stand for a shelf. Can you hang this on a wall? Because if I can mount this thing on a wall in that Autobot insignia, that might be a sale there. As I said, the price is $46.99. I can't fault them. It's going to be a Voyager. The pricing is what it is right now, given the current circumstances. The toy on its own, if it wasn't part of that assortment, I haven't seen enough comparison and all that to really know if it's worth that much. From an assortment standpoint, Voyager assortment, yeah, I have to say so, given its size. But if this was a standalone, size class, I'd need to see a little bit more to tell you if it, should be a little less. I'd love it if it was more like, 35-ish, 40-ish, The other thing I don't know, because again, this kind of came out of nowhere today, is this an exclusive? It says it's out, due out around September 1st, 2026. Does not call it an exclusive on the Hasbro Pulse listing. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean it would be a Pulse exclusive. It could be an online retailer exclusive, which honestly I could see that more, but I could also see this on the shelf at Walmart or Target. Because I can actually see a kid getting into this. Like, I think both of my kids might actually like this, though they're at school. They haven't seen this yet. So what it does list under product features, let's read that off. Says, this display-worthy Icons Optimus Prime figure features a unique conversion between class robot mode and Autobot symbol. And I think they meant to say Voyager-class robot mode and Autobot symbol. In robot mode, Voyager-class Transformers action figure is 6 3/4 or 6.75 inches tall. For anybody watching outside the U.S., that's 17 centimeters. I just knew that. It's not on the listing. Transformers figure converts between bot and symbol modes in 25 steps, which is kind of interesting that it takes that many steps. But I guess every twist and turn is a step. Includes a display stand for use with the Autobot symbol. Also comes with a blaster for dynamic poses in robot mode. Transformers figures feature articulation for display-worthy poses. And then it goes on to say, display your faction allegiance with the Icons Optimus Prime collectible. In Transformers lore, the Autobot logo was originally known as the first face, an ancient symbol adopted by modern-day Autobots to represent their faction. So, unless this is something that appeared in the later IDW comics or the Skybound comics now, I've never heard of this being used, called the first face. I mean, in Marvel, you had, the last Autobot kind of had a face similar to this. Yeah, so that must be some new part of the canon they're implementing. I know several years ago, and actually this brings up an interesting point, when Vector Prime was being released in Cybertron, Hasbro said, I believe it was at a BotCon or an OTFCC panel, where they originally talked about giving Vector Prime a faceplate that would go over his whole face that resembled the Autobot logo, and that would be the story of where the Autobot symbol came from. And they withdrew that concept because they said they were not ready to make that statement. Based on this description, calling it the first face, it seems like they're ready. They are ready to give us the origin of the Autobot insignia. We kind of got that for the Decepticons in Transformers 1, where, of course, the Decepticon symbol or logo, I mean, it always kind of looked like Soundwave's face, but they made it sure that you knew that resembled Megatron Prime, which was interesting. So it sounds like they're ready to say definitively where the Autobot logo came from. So that's interesting. The other thing I want to call out here is they're calling this the Icons Optimus Prime collectible. Now, see, my argument about this being a bizarre alt mode, not a good one for Optimus being in disguise, looking at it through the collectible lens versus the practicality toy and character lens, it makes a little bit more sense. So I'm a little bit more at ease with that. Now, what I really want to know, and I'm sure everybody else has picked up on this too, is this is called the Icons Optimus Prime figure. Icons with an S. So that would signify to me we're going to get more characters like this. Assuming this one's successful enough. Now, what does that mean? Are we going to go faction crazy like some people have? You see on the internet, you got every little sub-faction has or sub-team, special team has their own logo. Or are we going to get, this could go a lot of different ways. Are we going to get core Autobots all turning into the Autobot logo? Like, are we going to get a Bumblebee, a Grimlock, maybe a Prowl or a Jazz, Ironhide, Rodimus, Hot Rod, slash Hot Rod? Are we all going to get variations of this figure with slightly different appendages and heads that turn into the Autobot logo? Or are we going to get one single figure to represent each faction symbol, which, again, in my opinion, should be a limited run? So maybe we have Optimus turning into the Autobot symbol. Are we going to get a Megatron that turns into the Decepticon logo? At a bare minimum, I bet that's going to happen because you always need a good Megatron to go with an Optimus. So I think at a minimum, we're guaranteed to see that. Again, if we're going the route of one character per logo, I guess that might also insinuate that we might get an Optimus Primal as the Maximal logo, a Beast Wars Megatron as the Predacon logo. That would be nice. And then again, if you keep going down that rabbit hole, you have all these other official and semi-official logos, like the Wreckers logo. I guess you can make that, what, Springer. You have people that have made up a Quintesson and a Unicron logo, which somewhat appear, they're semi-official. They've been used in some places. So, I mean, are we looking to go that far with this? Or just a simple Optimus and Megatron? I personally want to see, if we're going to continue with this, want to see individual characters, one per symbol. Even if we go down that rabbit hole of the more obscure faction icons, I'd rather go that route. But see, the problem there is you're going to be going a route where there's not as many recognizable characters to casual fans, versus, your big heavy hitters like Optimus, Bumblebee, Megatron, Soundwave, Starscream. The list goes on and on. You guys know who I'm talking about. So that would make me think they might go the route of multiple Autobot and Decepticon logos. So I don't know. I'm starting to ramble here. So we'll see what they do with that. Only time will tell. The other thing they could do is we could see Transformers that turn into different things from Transformers lore. You have the icons, you have the MacGuffins like the Heart of Cybertron, the Matrix of Leadership, the key to the Plasma Energy Chamber. We might even see stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll just wait and see. But anyways, I may end up picking this up. I'm not ready to pre-order yet. The jury's still kind of out as far as what I want to do. But I'm interested to hear what everybody else thinks, maybe after some of the points I brought up. So feel free to leave a comment here. Of course, like the video if you enjoyed kind of this insight into this latest drop. And, of course, subscribe for more Transformers content like this, reviews, events, shopping. Whenever it seems appropriate to put those videos out, I do. I might even, at Toylanta's coming up this weekend, if you're familiar with that. It's a big toy show here in the Atlanta area, so I'll be there and I'll be filming some content. So that's coming down the pipeline for both this channel and my other channel, my original channel, which is simply Peach State Prime. You can check that out where I cover just different fun events, attractions, fun places to eat, shop, collectible shop, show off my other non-Transformers collections, and just try to have fun with it. So you can check that out over there. But anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you have a great day, and God bless.